Welcome to the Bobby Couto Show, where we dive into the fascinating world of human experiences and excellence, with special guests, real-life anecdotes, and thought-provoking discussions. Get ready to unlock and tap into your absolute potential with your host, manifestation coach, Bobby Couto.
Are we live?
We're live.
We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome June Livecast, episode number 2. And today, my co-host, Mr. David Sousa. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys?
David, you know about Troy City Mortgage, right?
We do.
Mr. David Pereira, our friend
I've known Dave for a long
and
time.
exclusive mortgage provider of the Bobby Couto Show.
Yep.
Please hit up Dave at 508-207-5864. Dave does mortgages on Instagram. He's at 1777 Pleasant Street. Tell him the Bobby Couto sent you, and he'll take very good care of you. How are you, brother?
I'm good, my man.
Bro.
I'll tell you right now, this heat, this weather's got me going. Business is booming, but it's we don't know what we're getting these days, right?
Dude, how can you even work in this weather?
Well, in this particular weather, it's very, very hard. But you got to do it. You know what I mean? This is the best weather to do work. I mean, ideally, you want cooler weather, but warm weather. 70s, right? No humidity, none of that stuff. Low humidity. And what we're getting is a lot of rain. Right? We get some rainy days.
Yeah.
We had rain this morning. They didn't even know we had rain this morning. We had rain this morning when we first woke up. Yeah. It sucks because right now we're spring going into summer.
Sure.
It's still that wet season, wet weather, and we can't do a whole lot.
What's the scheduling look like for you? Are you busy?
Right now we're about 2 weeks out. I have one crew that splits into two if need be. So if we can run multiple projects, so we can. So right now we're about 2 months out, but we do squeeze in. The guys are hungry; they want to work. They're go-getters. So we do squeeze in smaller jobs. So if we can squeeze them in on a weekend, they're willing to work. They're ready to go.
10%?
10% off. 10%
Right.
off. Mention the Bobby Couto Show.
After, though.
No.
Get
You
the
mentioned it in the beginning.
Get the price first, and then ask for the 10% off.
I'm gonna do a 10% increase before that.
Yeah. Well, I just happened to run into somebody that you did some work for, and they said nothing but amazing things about you from start to finish.
We have 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
We don't have, and again, not to knock anybody that has less than 5 stars. Sometimes there's things that are misunderstood.
Yeah.
But we take pride in that. We take pride in having 5 stars across the board. We don't have one negative review.
Yeah.
We stand by our work, and if anybody who's ever hired me will know that if there is a mistake or something that we miss, we don't leave.
Which never happens.
We never leave until it's done.
5-star service.
5-star service.
Speaking of 5-star service,
we all make mistakes, but still,
absolutely. Mr. Will Flanagan in Studio B today.
My man.
Will, thank you so much for being here. I got to tell you, man, seeing you walk through that door today just warmed my heart, brother. Like, I got to tell you, listen, I'm going to say this, and everybody needs to know. When my algorithm is slow, I post something about you, Will. You are the most popular, I don't want to say character, but person on the Bobby Couto Show in Studio B.
Absolutely.
Anytime I post anything about you and what you're saying, people are just gravitating to it, and they absolutely love it, brother.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you know what? You can't make that up.
No.
You can't make that up.
No.
And I've had a lot of people on the show, and I share a lot of the. If you noticed, I've been doing a lot of the clips and bringing a lot of that back.
Looks good.
Yeah, I think it's really important, right? But whenever I share Will, people love you, Will, and former mayor of the city. And when people mention that, they always say it in a great light. You know what I mean? A lot was happening in the city at that time. And then just your journey, brother, like from when you sat down, we had a conversation,
right.
And so much has happened since October of 2025 with you. And here you are now. I mean, you look absolutely amazing,
I feel
brother.
good.
Yeah, and you smell great, too. He smells great. Doesn't he smell
Dude,
great?
I smelled him before you even opened the door.
Absolutely.
It was coming through. It was sifting right through.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being here, Will.
It's great to be here. Look forward to doing the show with you.
I apologize that, unfortunately, there's a lot going on in the city. If anybody doesn't know, we had a couple of murders taking place, and it almost seems like it's a frenzy right now. And I really don't want to start the show like this, but I don't want to end the show with it either.
Yeah, it's important.
I think it's important that we do touch on this and talk about this for a little bit. But before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody that it is World Cup, and congratulations to Mexico today. They
2-0.
Right, they won 2-0 against South Africa, and so the United States is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Paraguay. Right?
Yep.
And then Portugal, they're versus DR Congo, and that will be Wednesday, June 17th at 1 p.m. So make sure you catch
tune
up
in,
on
guys.
that.
Yeah, tune in. This World Cup is going to be something. It's here in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's exciting.
We're going to experience
everywhere you
this.
go, you see it.
We
People
see it.
talking about it, right?
The new facility just opened up in Providence, right?
Sure.
And it's great to see in a time where we're seeing a lot of the world kind of falling apart a little bit.
Yeah.
When you think of the World Cup, it kind of brings people together. We forget about those problems.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see us kind of come together for a common cause for the love of the sport.
Can I ask you
That's
both?
a huge
I'm going to
thing.
ask you both this question.
Yep.
Do you feel that the World Cup is bigger than the Olympics? Do you think?
I'll say yes.
I agree.
The Olympics are big.
They're huge.
They'll
There's
be
a lot
in
of
Los Angeles next year.
yeah.
But the World Cup is global. And
Yeah.
sometimes soccer, football may fall short a little here in North America or United States of America.
Yeah.
But outside of the USA, soccer is the number one sport.
Yeah. Trillions of dollars in revenue this is going to bring in.
Pacing,
Yep.
basketball, football,
Yeah.
hockey,
It's the greatest
tennis.
sport in the world as we know it. It's the greatest sport in the world right now, just based on
Yeah.
who follows.
And you got the World Cup right over your shoulder there.
It's crazy, right? There it is right
There
there.
it is.
There it is right there, ladies and
There it
gentlemen.
is. That was a gift, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I stole it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, like, so Days of Portugal, like, I just so much to bring up.
so much going
Days
on.
of Portugal is this weekend, starts tomorrow. That's
Can't wait
Friday,
to go.
Saturday, and Sunday.
We'll be there.
Gates to the city. Yeah, we'll be down there Saturday.
down
so
there.
if people want to come
Come
over and
party
say
with us.
hello. What else is going on? It's just, I mean, it's just
so Day of Portugal was yesterday, right? The actual day.
The actual day, yes. The celebration of
and the
Portugal.
Day of Portugal feast will be this Saturday. So
That's-
yeah, I think
well, no,
that's
it's Friday,
Saturday,
and Sunday. Yes.
So the 3
Yeah.
days. Yep, we have great headlines coming up.
Are you going, Will?
I stop. I usually do.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
great food, great
Yeah.
drinks, and just an overall great time. They've really done a great job with that, though.
I agree.
If you
I
see
agree.
last year's event, I mean, they put on like a great concert. I mean, the effects, the headliners. I mean, I got to give it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only seen it, it get better and better and better every year. And I'm assuming they're going to top last year. I
All
mean,
right, so the challenge comes here. So we talk about, Forever Celebrates America.
Yep.
This keeps coming up.
Yep.
And I think one of the number one principal reasons, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, that they don't continue to do that is they say that it's a big safety concern, right? Like they really can't keep it safe.
Yep.
Would you say that you have a close maybe number of people that show up for this feast over the 3 days, over a 3-day period that you would have coming to a day to let's say like a Forever Celebrates America? Why are we able to do it here at the gates and we can't do it at the Heritage Park?
well, you mentioned crime, right? So back then, it was more of a crime thing. There was some
crime and sponsorships.
Officer
Sponsorship.
Megan. It was Officer Megan. I think it was right after the death of Officer Megan.
McGann.
Yeah,
McGann.
McGann.
Oh,
McGann.
when he
McGann,
fell.
when he fell.
Yep,
And then
yep.
after that, they're like, no more. We're not doing this
which
anymore.
is so bizarre that something like that would stop that event. I mean, yeah, it was because the event was going on. Like they were there because of the event, but the event didn't cause it, right?
Right.
Per se,
Agreed.
right?
Agreed.
It wasn't
All right.
like
That's fair.
the that brings that element. The element can just show up, right? But I don't think the Forever Celebrates brings in that element.
Sure.
It's a celebration of the city. It thrived under you, like we did, because you were on mayor for quite some time.
Forever Celebrates ended before I became
Oh,
mayor.
was it?
It did.
Oh, so who was
it's been a long
was it?
time.
Eddie Lambert,
Oh,
Carlton
that's
Viveros.
what it
Carlton
was.
Viveros,
Oh, what a
yes.
shame! What a
You're
shame!
going back to the 90s now,
Yes.
believe it or not.
Is
Yeah.
it that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
It's
that
been
long.
that long.
It's been that long.
I thought it was more recent.
And I think a lot
We
of
had
it,
a lot of events under our administration that are not happening today, but Forever Celebrates America, I believe, ended when Mayor Lambert was in office. So you're
Oh,
going
that's
back to
terrible.
the late 90s, early 2000s,
Wow.
over
That-
20
that was
years
some
ago.
time ago then.
Yeah.
Right. Some time ago.
So I guess the challenge here is why can't we plan an event like that? Why, you know what I mean? I think the excuse, I'll call it an excuse of not having security. I don't think that suffices. I don't think that's fair.
I think it's leadership. I think you need a mayor that's going to put this forward, right?
Oh, well said.
I think you need a mayor that's going to promote something like this
Right.
and bring that in. And the one thing I can say under certain mayors of the city is that certain mayors knew how to promote the city.
You made a great point earlier when we were talking, and I'm going to ask Will this. David looks at me and he says, Bobby, why would anybody stay here? Or why would anybody want to move here
In the current state.
in the current state?
Correct.
It's a tough question. You look at Fall River right now, you got murders, violent attacks, robberies, drug addiction, every horrific element that used to be associated with major cities is now being associated with Fall River.
Correct.
Back in the 80s, the 90s, you would think bad things about New York, bad things about Detroit, bad things about LA.
Yes.
And you would say, not in Fall River, or I pray that never happens here.
Right.
It's happening here. I had a conversation with someone just this morning. They said Fall River is getting bad. I stopped them. I said, Fall River isn't getting bad. Fall River is bad right now. And for people who don't recognize that, there's a serious problem. There's crime happening everywhere in the city. It used to be that there were certain neighborhoods crime would happen, and we knew those neighborhoods as kids, right?
Yes.
And I don't need to name them, but we knew them.
Yeah, we knew.
We knew
We
the
knew it, yeah.
neighborhoods where crime would happen.
Yes. I wouldn't ride my bike through there. I go around.
You know, it's funny. When I was younger, I'd go through those crowds. I mean, I grew up in some of those neighborhoods, but in today's world, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I don't know.
But it's happening everywhere now.
It's happening, yeah.
I don't care if you live in the Highlands, the Maplewood section.
Sure.
No matter where you are, it's happening. I'm even talking with law enforcement in Somerset and Swansea and Tiverton. It's happening there too. It's crossing the border. So it's just not happening here in Fall River. It's migrating out. Times are really tough right now. And I think because of drug addiction, mental illness, a lot of the crime we're seeing is being driven by those two factors.
Do you think the train has anything to do with this?
Currently, no. At some point, it will, because the train's driving up rents. So you're pushing people out of Brockton who can't afford to live there anymore. You're pushing people out of Boston who can't afford to live there anymore. And what was happening was, all right, you lived in Boston, you couldn't afford it anymore. You went further south to Brockton. Now you can't afford Brockton anymore. You're moving to Fall River.
It's very true.
So that's what's happening. So you're seeing people coming to Fall River who don't have the resources to be here, who are struggling to be here. And that's why you're seeing a lot of what's happening in the news happening right now.
Medium household income Fall River is what, 39,000?
Yes.
39.
And how long has it been like that, though?
Too long.
Too long. And I'm going to tell you, the idea of living with 39,000, I'm a single man.
You can't.
I couldn't. I don't understand how you can do that.
Bills alone. I mean, you're broke. You can't. That on $39,000, you don't have a life. You don't have a life. You are home every day.
So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk back Quaker Fabrics.
Yeah.
Right? Quaker Fabrics was an engine, an economic engine for the city.
Yeah.
At one point, I think they employed over 2,000 residents of the city.
Yeah.
You no longer have that.
Right.
We brought in Amazon thinking, hey, listen, Amazon, they hire a lot of people. And I know there was some rules there about how many people, like locals, they should be hiring for the tax.
Sure.
I don't know that that's taking place. So I guess the
we
point
don't have that
I'm
data.
trying to make is you don't have the industry here, right? So somebody can't take the bus to their job, right? They can't take an Uber because they can't afford it with a $39,000 salary to go work at Applebee's, right?
Correct.
So again, your point, people are working in Boston, coming to Brockton. Now they're coming to Fall River because they can afford to be here because their means of income isn't even here.
Right.
They're leaving the city to make the money.
Correct.
And exactly to your point, what does that do to the lifelong resident who might be a single mom with a kid, single dad with a kid? You know what I mean?
Well,
Grandma,
it drives them out.
right? Like I mean,
right?
to
It
me,
drives them out. They go south.
So, and then let's just compound this. And then you put them in a situation where these neighborhoods, no neighborhood is safe, right? You know, I've been beating this drum for a long time. And this drum is, you know, you have elderly people, right, that are retired. And they place them in places like Sunset Hill, right? And then next door is, you know, maybe a young family that it doesn't really, you know, they
Doesn't
party.
jive.
Right, it just doesn't jive. And so you put all these people in but now this is like a next level up, which means the people next door want to hurt you. The people next door want to break into your house and take everything you have. It's a completely different element. It's no longer just noise with a noise complaint. It's people being stabbed in the neck with a pitchfork, for goodness sake. Like, it's gotten to the extreme. You know, I had Seth Aiken on he's amazing. He's running for DA. And I asked him the question. I said, Seth, how do you motivate police to police when we don't prosecute? Right, when these perpetrators, like for example, your situation,
right?
You know, how many times do you have to go through the system where you're letting these people just continuously just out in the streets before a tragedy happens to the people that we love?
Yeah.
Right? It's not even like a
Could happen to
stranger down
any
the
of us.
street. It's our friends. Whoa, you're my friend. I was devastated when I heard that.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's so to think, you know, you hear these things. What you said, what happens in LA? That happens in, you know, California. That happens in New York. It doesn't happen here. Yeah, man.
It's happening
and it's
here.
happening to the people we love. My mom is 82 years old, man. My mom goes everywhere by herself. Grocery store. She walks. I mean, she's an easy target.
You just hit it. The other day, I was with my mom, and I'm in her house. I'm about to leave, and she's like, I'm gonna go to the store. And I'm like, are you going to go alone? My mom's 73, right? And I'm like, are you going to go alone? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go alone. And I hate that. And I had my daughter. I had to go home. I had things to do. I had quotes to do and busy. And she decided ultimately not to go, thank God.
Yeah.
But her going worries me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? Because there's scams out there. There are people,
yeah.
they will use scenarios and people and children to even lure certain people in. And to be honest with you, growing up, our parents always told us, be careful, you know, person comes up to you, wants to give you candy, opens the door, right? Those were the normal.
Yes.
And you say that to a kid, but now we're saying this to our elders.
Oh, yeah, right.
We're saying this to everybody.
You know Stop and Shop on
Be
Rodman
careful.
Street? Stop and Shop on Rodman Street?
Yes.
Yeah. My mom, that's the Stop and Shop she used to go to.
Correct.
One day, she's on her way there. She stops at the light to take a left, right? She's on Plymouth Avenue. She's going to take a left.
Yeah.
And there's someone there panhandling.
Sure.
So she rolls down the window and she takes the change out of her cup holder and she hands him the change. Do you know what he did with the change? He threw it at her.
Right.
He hit her with the change.
Yeah.
She got so freaked out, she won't go there anymore. Now she goes to Price Right.
It
She won't go
her
to Stop and
yeah.
Shop. So
Yeah.
again, these are these microcosms, right?
Yep.
Where here, like she's trying to help. What everybody's always, help them. The panhandling, they need that. Like, yeah, is that what we want to do? Is that what we want to support?
No.
Right? Because we're pushing everybody out.
Yeah.
The good people are afraid to go out. They're afraid something's going to happen to them. And the fear of crime is sometimes worse than crime itself.
Yeah.
True that.
Just the other
Well
day, I was walking from my place of business to government center. I had to pay some bills. Lady jacked on her brakes and yelled at me, "What are you doing walking, Mayor Flanagan? I never want to see you walking again."
Wow.
Cared about me, right?
Wow.
She was afraid I was out walking. But you can't, I'm not going to
wild.
change my life.
Of course not. Of course
Absolutely
not.
not.
You know,
Right.
something
Absolutely
happened
not.
to me was horrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
I almost died.
Yeah.
But as horrible as that was, I still have to live my life.
100%.
That's my mindset. Some people may have a different mindset. I think the most people would have a different mindset than me. Or maybe that 1% who thinks differently. So it's getting bad in the city. There's so many factors that are driving it, Bobby. And there may not be one solution on how we fix it. I don't think we're so far gone that we can't fix it.
I
But
agree.
it has to get fixed, because if it doesn't get fixed, it's only going to get worse.
It's only gonna get worse. Yeah, 100%. I used to, when I would go into a restaurant, right? I mean, I don't know about you, because I know you're like this, and I'm sure you're the same way. Men tend to want to face the door, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We
100%.
Yeah, we don't want to put our
Absolutely.
backs.
Always.
And sometimes I find myself with my friends, I might be facing, my back might be facing the door.
But you know that I'm watching
But I'm trusting the people in
Yes,
front of me.
absolutely,
But you know,
yes.
there was a time that I mean, I think all men are designed that way. And it was by nature, but now there's an actual thought process
Yes.
behind it. Like,
Yes.
I'm purposely going to do this. Where before you did it just because it was just the way that we're designed, but like now we're looking at that door.
Sure.
We're worried about who's coming through that door, and almost painting a picture in your head, like almost like, if this were to happen, am I ready? Can I? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What's my move? And that's kind of like the world we live in, like today. And I feel like, unfortunately, with a city like Fall River, where it's going, I don't understand how anybody can't think that way. Like, it's almost like you walking down the street. Never in your wildest dreams you think that would ever happen to you, right?
Never.
Never.
Right.
Because that's why you do it.
Right.
You walk down the street because you feel safe.
Sure.
You know it's never going to happen to me.
Right.
And here it is that one day that it ends up happening. Now your train of thought going forward is completely different, I'm sure.
100%.
100%.
Just awareness, right? It's
Just
just awareness,
the
right?
awareness.
The awareness,
But
right,
what happened
right.
to you now makes us all aware that, if it can happen to, a former mayor of a city that was well liked, by the way, and who am I? You know what I mean?
Right.
It could happen to any of us.
But it
And-
also happened at 5 o'clock on a Monday
Sure,
in the
yeah.
afternoon
Yeah.
in downtown Fall River.
Think about that for a
It
minute.
wasn't
audience.
2 o'clock in a
In the
seedy
morning.
neighborhood,
Yes,
right?
correct, right.
It wasn't after a club or something,
Right.
where you could have had an altercation
And
somewhere
again,
in the club.
there was an audience. Like, there were people there.
Yeah.
People could see it. It wasn't like
Broad daylight.
It wasn't like he thought and said, "I'm going to do this in secrecy and hide." He didn't care. His mindset was just hell bent on destroying something beautiful. You know what I mean?
100%.
And again, and I know that there was, again, and I don't want to talk about the details, but I know that there was clear evidence that there was a psychological concern with this individual.
Yes.
That there were other
Well documented.
very well documented. And so, just to kind of segue into this, and I know Alan Sylvia had a lot to do with this as well. And so, shout out to Alan.
Yes.
So, this happens, Will. And then obviously, someone like yourself who is never going to stop. You're never going to give up. And even in that state, you're already thinking, how can we fix this? How can we
Correct.
make this better? And so you come up with this idea. Can you tell us a little bit about the bill?
Well, yes. After I was attacked, and first I just want to say thank you to everybody for your prayers, and thank you to God for being with me and seeing me through this. Every prayer I felt mattered and helped get to where I needed to be. And State Representative Alan Sylvia reached out to me and he said, what can we do to prevent something like this from happening again? And I thought about it.
Well, that was great of him to do that.
What were we missing? How could we have prevented this from happening? How did Corey Gonzalez slip through the cracks? Because he did. He slipped through the cracks.
Yep.
And that's why we came up with this proposed legislation that was filed in the State House on creating a database to identify people who are violent and mentally ill. Not to stigmatize anybody, not to put a scarlet letter on anyone, but to say, okay, we don't want you to fall through the court system. We don't want you to slip through the cracks. If you're somebody who has a record of violence, a record of mental illness, who's capable of murdering somebody in broad daylight, we need to identify you and then get you the resources needed to prevent that from happening, to prevent you from hurting yourself or innocent people. And that's what this bill hopefully is proposing to do.
Okay.
And it's in its infancy stages, Bobby. It probably will be brought up in the next legislative session. Okay. And they'll have public hearings on it. They'll have comment period on it. And we'll see where it goes, if it goes anywhere. But I felt I needed, as a survivor, as somebody who cares, not just to do nothing. God gave me a second chance on life. Amen. So whether it's helping draft a piece of legislation, being an advocate for people, whatever it may be, that's my opportunity to hopefully prevent something like this from happening again.
So this would assist, like, for example, law enforcement,
Yes.
right? Where they
Hospitals.
could identify hospitals and they...
Because think about this for a second.
I didn't think hospitals.
Yeah.
Mental institutions have been closed. You have all these mentally ill people. Where are they going? So state hospitals have closed. Private hospitals have closed that were focused on treating mentally ill people. They're going to Charlton Memorial now. They're going to St. Anne's. And you're having doctors and nurses who don't really know what to do with somebody who's mentally ill.
Right.
Do you hold them? Do you commit them? Do
Right.
you force them to take medication? And a lot of the nurses and doctors who I speak with are getting abused by people who are being brought in.
Right.
They're violent.
Right.
So 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're being brought in and nurses are getting kicked. Doctors are getting bit. Security staff's getting spit on. It's very dangerous. And you have nurses and doctors who are trying to save the lives of sick people having to deal with psychotic and mental episodes. This would help them.
Sure.
Also, probation, preventing somebody from slipping through the cracks. So whether it's police, probation, hospitals, law enforcement, whomever, you're able to say, okay, Corey Gonzalez, he's somebody we should be identifying. Got to keep a closer eye on him to make sure he doesn't hurt somebody.
Yeah, well, you made a great point, and I'd like to touch on that real quick, and that is the fact that the mental hospitals, the state hospitals, they're all closed.
Yeah.
So, 2 questions. 1, why would that happen, right? And 2, what could we do to reinstate some of these facilities? Maybe state of the art, right? I mean, I think now we're so far advanced, in what we know about the human psyche. Why not have, or maybe Fall River is the flagship. You know what I mean? We got so much land that maybe we create a place where maybe people can find sanctuary, right? Maybe they can at least live somewhat of a normal of life where someone can, give them some balance rather than these people out here struggling and they have no idea, what.
It's quite a bit.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, to your point, it's very hard to distinguish between drug addiction and psychosis, right?
Sure.
Like how do you determine that, right? Someone could be high on drugs or someone could be totally, you know what I mean?
Both act.
I think you would,
same,
as
right?
a law enforcement officer, if you're addressing, say, a call, you're gonna respond to that call differently.
Correct.
If you already have an awareness that this person has
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that would prepare these officers ahead of time to be like, okay, we're going to need support. We're
on
gonna
high
need some
alert
help.
going in
high
there.
alert going in there, right?
So this bill is supposed to create a database, and it's wild that this database didn't exist prior.
No, and everything right now is in separate compartments.
Correct.
So you have a criminal record. All right. Law enforcement can access that. Somebody who's been committed, you may not have access to that.
See, that's why
The courts may not have access to that.
Right.
So if you've
is
been
it because of
civilly
patient
committed,
kind of
HIPAA issues,
HIPAA,
right?
yeah.
So somebody might have been committed.
Sure.
The courts don't know. Police don't know. Should they?
Absolutely. Clearly.
So
Right.
it's taking all this information that's in all these different drawers and compartments and putting it all together to assist people.
Gotcha.
And the people who you're calling upon to save your life, police, doctors, nurses, the people who you trust to keep some type of law and order in community, like probation and the court system, the judicial system, they need help. And if you're going to give them an extra tool in the toolbox, hopefully it allows them to do their job more effectively.
Can I ask you a question? The question is this. Your incident happened. Have you seen anything change since your incident happened? Have you
With me personally?
with the city, with the people that would be responsible for reacting to a situation like that?
Any kind of movement?
Any
like,
movement
yeah.
in anything?
in a
I'm
certain
just-
direction?
Let me speak personally about this. The care the Florida Police Department, EMS, fire, public servants, hospitals gave me was second to none. My life was saved due to their quick action and response. If they don't make the decisions that they made on that day, I'm dead. So their decision making saved
That makes
my
me feel.
life.
That makes me feel a lot
Right?
better. Yeah.
So
That makes me feel a lot better.
Yes.
I thank them, and
Yes.
I thank God. If this was going to happen to me anywhere, it happened to me at that time when it did.
Sure did.
Also, a spiritual person. If God wasn't with me on my side, I'm not here talking to you right now. I think the city has not gotten any safer since then. And we see today a double homicide on Etna Street. A man takes a firearm, unloads it in two people, takes the two people who he already unloaded a firearm in, stabs one in the head with a pitchfork, and then takes a cement brick and whacks it across the head of another, like a scene from a Quentin Tarantino movie. Imagine you're the police officer, and I know them personally, who showed up to that scene.
I had to witness that.
Yeah, man.
It's hard to witness.
Yeah, I mean,
The
seriously.
PTSD
Yes.
that you are
Alone.
now taking home with you.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And not only do you have to render life-saving services to those who have just been shot, you got to subdue the shooter.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's happening in Fall River. And then just a couple hours ago, there's a stabbing on Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
At one time in Fall River, a homicide, a murder would happen once every 2 or 3 years.
It's a big deal.
And it would be a big deal. The
Yep.
city would stop
Yes.
when a
Yeah.
murder took place.
Absolutely.
Now it's becoming commonplace for murders, robberies, home invasions
It's like
to be happening here.
desensitized.
And
It's
we
like-
have
yeah,
become
yeah.
desensitized to it.
Yeah.
We have been
Yeah.
because it's happening so much.
Yeah, it's become normal for everyday people. I mean, again, like you said, we rarely ever heard something like you have your one-offs and
Yeah,
your
domestics,
robbery
things
here,
like that.
domestics.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But
It's become
when it comes to murder,
yeah, it's easy. It's become easy to kill somebody.
it's
It almost
very
seems like it's
easy.
to
The
kill somebody.
value of
Yeah.
life seems to have diminished, where people don't look at life as important anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's something that I can take from you very easily now. Whereas before, people would think these things through, and it just seems so reactive. These guys just pulling up. I mean, whatever confrontation issues they had prior,
Yeah.
it was almost like this man didn't even think things through.
Yeah, but-
he reacted to an emotion that he felt in the moment, went inside and grabbed the gun.
But David, we talked about this, and it's in that conversation. I'm not afraid to have this conversation.
Sure.
I have seen many horrific
Yep.
things in my life, right?
Sure.
Acts of violence.
Yep.
But never once have I seen someone pick up a pitchfork and stab somebody else in the head.
No, that's a interesting weapon.
Which brings the question. And the question is who thinks of that, right? Is that a cultural thing? Because I would never
Okay.
think, even in a fight, I might pick up a rock. Right, I might if I'm dying. Right,
A bat, or
somebody's
a
killed,
piece of
like I might
stick,
pick
right?
up a rock and hit somebody in the head with a rock if I'm trying to save my
Sure.
life. But the idea of picking up a pitchfork and thinking that that's a weapon
Sure.
and actually using it,
Sure.
I think that is an outside of I don't even want to say normal. Like I don't even
Mayhem and gruesome.
gruesome. Yes, gruesome. Yes,
Yeah.
It's a horror
Yes,
movie.
it's a horror
Horror
movie.
movie.
And so, is that a cultural thing? Are there places in the world where that happens and nobody ever knows it happens? Right? Like if that happened in Rio de Janeiro, right, in an alleyway, like they would Will,
Is it
they grab the
commonplace?
bodies, they dump them in the water, and
very
nobody would ever
common.
know the difference.
Very
so
common.
Is that what we're experiencing here, guys?
Sure.
Is that fair to think that these are people that come in with cultural differences
Sure.
and the level of violence that they have been allowed to express throughout their lives,
Sure.
and now they come here and we think that they're going to act any different, or that they're going to have some type of suppression for these acts of anger and violence.
Well, look what happened in Ireland, right? With that man from Sudan, right? The refugee, same thing. I mean, it seemed. I mean, he was trying to chop off his head in the middle of a street.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, Ireland is up in flames right now.
Right.
And they're protesting and
Yeah.
they're going crazy. And you think about something like that, like there is a.
But they turn into leadership, David. Right? These
Sure.
people are saying, "Hey, leadership, this is unacceptable."
Sure.
Right?
And you raise a good point, because Fall River has to be the community where this is unacceptable.
Amen.
Where, okay, if you commit crime in Fall River, you're going to jail.
Yep.
It has to be a law and order city.
Yeah.
And we've lost that. We've lost that
agree.
law and order
I completely agree with you.
stigma. We lost that law and order label.
Correct.
Where, okay, people are coming here now to do crime.
Sure.
Can't be that way. You have to get back to the mantra, to the motto, where you commit a crime here, you're going to jail.
Absolutely.
Zero tolerance on crime.
Absolutely.
Zero tolerance on violent crime. Where people get to the point where they're not even thinking about it, because they are thinking about it now. The amount of drug sales that are happening here are horrific. Crack cocaine, fentanyl.
Everywhere. We see the
horrible,
busts. We see the busts.
horrible.
Yeah. And that's only what we catch.
It's happening out, not under the cover of night, not in third floor apartments.
That's a great point.
It's
Will.
happening on streets,
That's a
hand-to-hand
great point,
sales.
Will. Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it
Oh, the
downtown.
laundromat where you go do your laundry.
Yeah,
That guy
yeah.
stands there. He's
Oh,
massive
yeah.
gold chain, and he's not even hiding it. I've actually seen him handing out
Yeah,
bags.
yeah.
Harlem in the 80s.
Yep.
Watts in the 90s. You never
Yes.
thought that would happen here.
Right. No.
But it's
Right.
happening here.
Right.
It's like New Jack City.
Right.
And
Well-
you can't allow it to happen.
Broken window theory.
You can't allow it to happen.
How about the broken window theory?
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
need that more now than ever before. Find out where
Well, you've
the-
been speaking about this for
I
quite
have
some
been,
time.
and I think it's time to implement. Like
Yeah.
it's the little things, Will. If you
It
allow
is.
graffiti, then they'll break windows. If they break windows, they're going to burn buildings down. If you don't, there's no. If there are no consequences, then it just gets worse. You know what? Children do the same thing.
We're all parents here, right?
Absolutely.
Every single
Children
one
do
of
the
us, yeah.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
They push and push and push and push until you say no more.
No more.
Right? And that's
Absolutely.
what these people do. Again, I don't want to blame people, but the level of
But you have
responsibility.
to. But you have to, though,
And
right?
we've created a system. I'm going to sound like the old guy in the room. We've created a system.
We sound like our parents, right?
Yes, that encourages it. Like if you go to school and you say something stupid,
Sure.
like DSS is showing up at your house. Like if I went to school and said, "Hey, my mom beat me with the belt this weekend." Oh, they're not going to ask me why, right? They're not going to tell you that I blew
They're
up
gonna
the
laugh
washing
at you.
machine.
You're like,
Dude, I literally put bricks in the washing machine to see what would happen, right? They won't tell you that. I totally deserve the beating. But now-
100%.
So in this world today, what we talked about in the last episode, the consequence to that is they're going to take me away. I'm going. DSS is coming. Like it's so you remove the actual reprimanding parent from controlling the actions of their
Because
child.
the state becomes the parent at that point.
There it is.
Right.
They said it. Remember they said it? These are our children.
Our
Remember
children.
they said
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
No, they're not. These are my
these
kids.
are my kids.
These are my kids.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And we
yeah.
use the systems.
And if you want them to be upstanding citizens,
Yes.
then I got to do it my way.
Absolutely. Will.
Can't be your way.
David and I were talking earlier, and David's like, where do you think it happened? Where do you think it started? And my answer to him was, and tell
Yeah.
me if you agree or disagree, I said it started when we allowed the federal government to control the education system.
Yeah.
That was
Possible.
Yeah.
like
It's a starting point.
it's a starting point,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah.
now you control the narrative, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're not watching, and I take some of the blame for this, even when my kids were in school, could I have paid more attention to
100%.
the curriculum? 100%. Are parents now paying more attention to curriculum? Yes, they are.
Yes, they
Why?
are.
Because they showed up to parent-teacher conference meetings, right? And they were being told that they didn't shut up, they were going to get arrested. Right, that they had to leave, that they couldn't have an opinion, and now these parents are like, "No, what's going on behind the curtain? Show me." Like you have these books in the libraries of,
Oh, yeah.
right, of these crazy
Weird
books.
stuff.
Yes, so people became aware. Like for example, my kids played with an iPad. My granddaughter does not play with an iPad.
Yeah.
Why? Because my daughter knows and now realizes. I always say it. Like in the 50s with cigarettes, doctors are like, "Hey, calm down, have a cigarette, right? Today, we know better.
We know better.
Right? So we went through that stage with iPads and technology where now we realize the consequence of allowing your child to be an iPad baby.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
They can literally, they literally like relapse if they don't have the iPad in front of them.
Yeah, you see the mental breakdown.
All right, so here we are. We have a generation that I think is caught in that. And I think it's this, they're like 35 to maybe like 25. Like they're in this gap where the education system just ran wild. You know what I mean? You know, I remember, I'll never forget, Mr. Petrazik, Morton Middle School.
Holy moly,
My social
Mr.
studies
Petrazik.
teacher.
Yeah.
Look, I am 51 years old. I was 14 years old when I was in that man's class. I still remember him. I still don't remember words he said to me.
Why?
Because everything he said to me was profound. It mattered. He was a history teacher, and he always applied history to the modern day. I could always understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we had teachers like that, you'd still do. How many teachers do you remember?
I remember Mr. Aubin.
Okay.
I loved Mr. Aubin.
That one teacher.
That one. I know a few, but
Diamond?
Oh yeah. What a
Military man.
military man. Boy, did he set me straight.
But he had an impact on you.
Huge.
All right.
Even students who weren't in his class,
There you
like
go.
myself,
Yep.
he had an impact on.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so where are the, like, again, this is the Bruce Lee theory, right? I talk about this all the time. Bruce
Shout
Lee
out to Mr. Aubin, by the
Bruce,
way.
Yeah, shout out. Bruce Lee is gone, Will.
I love
Who's
that
the
man.
next Bruce Lee? Right? Because Bruce Lee spoke about being in an alpha state, right? Of being the best you can possibly be, not only for yourself, but for
Absolutely.
the people around you, right? Your obligation as a strong man is to help those who are not. Right?
Yep.
That was him. He told you the glass was always half full. He told you to think
Correct.
clearly, put good things in your body. Who is telling us that today?
Nobody.
No, you got Cardi B on stage with her ass
Yeah,
hanging out,
yeah.
wet ass. Like that's
Participation trophies.
That's what our children are seeing. That's what our
all
children
set
are
with that.
seeing. I want my kids to be brought up by Chuck Norris, right? Right? Like people that actually have influence and understand that being the best version of yourself is the ultimate rebellion.
And that was the 80s. That was a generation
great
that
time.
we grew up in, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Everything was patriotism. The movies were
Rambo,
America,
Commando, right?
Rocky.
Rocky,
Sure, even Predator.
Predator.
I mean, it was a foreign. It was an
but
alien.
you couldn't make those
Couldn't make
movies
those
today.
today,
And I'm
no.
somebody who
Makes no sense to people these days.
has a connection to Hollywood and movie making. There are some movies, some stories they wouldn't even touch today.
No.
They rather go in a different direction.
Yes. Yeah.
But with that said, you're not seeing the blockbuster movies coming out anymore either.
Right.
And the movies that are winning the awards are movies that mostly people aren't even watching.
True. 100%.
It's topic for another day, but
Yep.
So true.
society has changed. Don't think it changed for the better. And if we don't start changing it back, we're screwed.
I think we're on our way, though. Honestly, I see a generation like my daughter, like the 30-year-old parents right now who realize the consequence and they're making the difference. Like I raised my daughter with one fundamental rule. I'm going to share this with everybody. Love because you want to, not because you have to. Everything else falls into place. Yeah. If you build a future for yourself, Megan, if you're strong, if you have your own money, if you could love someone because you want to, not because they provide
necessity.
Out of necessity,
100%.
right? Like those are the messages that we should be telling our children. Like,
Correct.
be the best version of yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Like, live this life now. You have time later, right?
Yeah. I think people have this idea that life is forever. When
Yeah.
you're young,
You feel indestructible.
You feel indestructible.
Sure.
You can run right through a wall and you
Right.
and you can survive it.
Yeah,
and,
but-
and you possibly could, to be honest with you.
I don't
right?
know how old you are. How old are
I'm
you?
42.
42,
51.
46. We have more years probably behind us
Amen.
than we do
Yes.
ahead
in front of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a realization when you think about it.
Yes.
It's
And
life
that's
is a
long
little
thinking,
different.
right? Because we're not promised tomorrow, right? None of us are promised tomorrow.
I
That's
know
the
that.
whole
I
thing.
know that for a fact.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. Right, right. And so here we are in this perpetual machine. And I say to myself, and even now with Trump and everything that's going on, it's so just loud, right? Everything is so loud.
Everything's loud.
That I think people are so distracted and they're looking this way. And the most important things that we should be looking at are over here, right? It's our communities. Look, you're not going to change the federal government. You're not. But if you support your community, if you support the next mayor of the city, if you support the next city councilman, your neighbor, right? Who is your neighbor?
We talked about
right,
that.
Will? Who is your neighbor? If you can answer that question, you're doing okay, right? Because we need to support each other. The community now is so separated. I make it a point. I walk out of my house, I say hi to everybody. Like, you no way you're walking by me.
I'll be honest
and
with
you're
you.
not gonna say hi to me.
You know what's so
like,
funny?
I won't allow it. Right? I
Yeah, you're
want to
not
know
lying.
you.
You do it. You do it.
I say hi to everybody because I think it's unacceptable to even walk by someone in the street
100%.
and not engage
I completely
them.
agree.
We are a community. We are a society.
I
I
completely
have
Right?
yet to see you walk out of your house.
You're spying on me, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Bobby. I'm looking for
I don't
him.
walk out of the house because I'm always here. That's amazing, dude. But again, not to beat it. Go ahead, Will.
One of the things that we were successful at in our administration was the neighborhood groups. We built neighborhood groups in the city.
I think you're right. You're 100% right
Niagara.
about that.
Oh, the
Coffee
Flint
Row,
Neighborhood
Flint,
Association. I was part of that for a little bit.
Highlands.
Yeah.
Every neighborhood had a neighborhood group, and they were connected to City Hall. They had neighborhood leaders, neighborhood organizations. They had monthly meetings.
Oh, wow.
The Flint still does
I've
that,
never
right?
heard of this.
The Flint still does that, but the other communities, I'm not even aware of it.
And each neighborhood would have their own block parties.
Yeah.
They would have their own cookouts. They would have, the police would go there on a bi-weekly, monthly basis and talk with them. They would have guest speakers. We built community centers in these neighborhoods for after-school tutoring and college prep and job training, working with People Incorporated and the Salvation Army and United Way and YMCA and Boys and Girls Club. It was a fabric that just extended throughout the entire community because you got strong that way, right?
Yes.
Each thread made the whole blanket stronger.
Yes.
You're not seeing that right now.
What happened with that, Will? Did it just
I
fade
don't know.
away? Is it still
faded
there?
away. Because it fades away because nobody carries on the tradition. One thing I think about is at one time in Fall River, you had an Italian feast. You had, a Lebanese feast. You had
Yeah,
a
the
French
Polish
feast,
feast.
a
Irish.
Polish feast, an Irish
Yes.
feast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see less and less of that.
True.
Yeah.
The Great
Yeah.
Feast of the Holy Ghost isn't as big as it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
The Day of Portugal is still doing well because they have a really strong committee behind it.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Unless
That's a great point.
somebody's
Yes, he's
gonna
right.
take
You're
up
right.
the
That's a
mantle.
great point.
Yes.
You got to take up the mantle. Who's the next generational leader? Who's the next Chuck Norris, the next Bruce Lee?
Yep.
Sometimes Forever's missing that.
Yeah.
Who's the next person to step up and take over for their father or their grandfather that led the way in the
What
community?
a great point.
It's not there.
It's not there.
Wow.
Because that was generational.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
If you were
Yes.
part of a band of some sort, like whatever, those Our Lady of Light bands or something,
Yep.
you saw the generation from the grandfather, from the patriarch to the son, right?
Yeah,
and
like,
it
I
comes
think
around
there.
the wall.
like Don
Yeah.
Carlos Club. I think Don
Yeah.
Carlos Club,
Yeah.
like my buddy Bobby is the president. His dad was the president, right?
See?
And like it's generational.
It is a
Right,
generational
right,
thing.
right,
Pride.
right.
Where's
Yeah.
the pride?
Yeah.
Where's
Where's
the pride?
the
Yeah.
pride? Where's the pride?
It's funny you mentioned the Italians because you're 100% correct because they had, what's that name of that place?
The IPC, the Italian
IPC,
Progressive Club.
Yeah. Dead.
Yeah.
Done.
The
It's
best-
an empty building, I think, at this point.
Best Bloody Marys.
See?
Anywhere.
There you go.
Anywhere.
There you go.
Anywhere.
Are they still open?
I believe they are.
They do the every now and they open all the time, but every now and
they
again
are.
they do like a Bloody Mary special. So you go down there, it's like $14, free plug, $14, and these things come out. They're probably like 12 inches tall, and they got a skewer on them. You can get it with chicken wings, with bacon. It's just they're amazing. They're absolutely
Wow.
amazing.
And go
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
See, and how many people just drive by
Yeah.
and would ever walk into a place like that, right?
Yeah. Right.
It needs
Right.
to be promoted.
Right.
We have these places, but no one knows about
Will,
it.
who is it?
Yeah.
Who's the leader? We need a leader.
We need a
We
leader.
need a leader.
Somebody
Bobby,
has
you're
to
a leader.
step up, right? And it's just not one person who can do it. You need
Yeah,
a
you
team.
need a committee.
leader needs a team.
There it is. A good leader creates a
Yeah.
team, right?
Yeah.
Finds the
Right.
right people for the right jobs, right?
Yeah.
I keep
Because-
saying it. You don't have to be the smartest man in the room
Yeah.
or woman, but you know that you surround yourself with the smartest
Yep.
people in the
This
room.
isn't tennis, but even in tennis, you need a great coach.
Yeah.
Boxing, you need a great camp around you. But those are sports where somebody is one-on-one. Running a city's like baseball or basketball or football, it's a team sport. You're only as
Sure.
good as your CFO. You're only as good as your police chief. You're only as good as your fire chief. You're only as good as your superintendent. Because if you don't have the right leaders in those positions, you got to fail.
Yeah.
And morale starts to decline. People start doing less and less. Why should I do more? I don't get recognized for it, or I'm not getting the resources I need. I think about the police department a lot. I think about even the Department of Community Maintenance. What resources are you giving those men and women to do their job?
Sure. How do you feel about the civil service?
civil service
The chief's
has
job.
its pros and cons, like everything else.
Can you share that? Because I'm conflicted with it, and I appreciate your opinion.
When it works, and it works to help find qualified candidates, and it takes politics out of sometimes the selection processes.
That's what sells me on that.
However, sometimes because they're civil service employees, it's tough to reprimand or discipline because you have that protection of civil service. So there's pros and cons to everything. When it works good.
Yep.
When it doesn't work, it works poorly.
If it was your decision, would you do that? Would you, or would you leave it as it was?
Speaking from somebody who's been there, done that, bought the T-shirt,
Yeah.
you have to do it because you have to protect it. Okay. And you don't know if the person who's coming up is going to make the right decision. They can make the wrong decision. And in certain circumstances like that, you need the protection. It's like insurance, right? Sometimes you need it, and when you need it, you need it.
Wow. All right, want to take a quick break real quick?
Yes.
We're gonna hit Marco. Is Marco here?
Yes, Marco is
Let's
here.
bring him in. Marco Andrade, Social Table Events with the Weekend Update. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Wow, you sound amazing.
Sound a lot better.
Hey, you're in studio with Will Flanagan today and my co-host, David Sousa.
What's going on, bro?
Dave, how are you? Will, pleasure.
He can't hear you right now. He's going to put his headphones in.
Oh, we can't. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, he's going to put his in right now. There he goes. Now he can hear you now. He can hear you now. Go for it.
I said pleasure, Will. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you.
It's great to be on the show with you. Thank you for your kind words.
I'm glad to see you doing video. You're very healthy and
Yes.
and things are working out. I like that. I like to see that. That was devastating.
It was horrific should never have happened to
Correct,
everybody.
correct.
But, thank everybody for their prayers and their kind words.
Yeah. Absolutely.
God is good.
That is true. Very true. And I wanted to touch on something that you guys were talking about just a little while ago.
Sure.
Fall River Celebrates America. I only caught a little bit of it. I remember Fall River Celebrates America, and I remember going there. And I know, like most people know, I mean, I was a performer at one point in my, life, and I actually performed that Fall River Celebrates America. It was I still remember this. It was Bobby Justin.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody there remembers Bobby Justin. Bobby Justin was performing on the main stage on a Saturday night. I ended up opening the show. I was on two people before him, and there was a night that they had a big laser show, and I remember it was just a laser running across Heritage Park. And it was ironic. I actually found pictures of that not too long ago in my basement, and it was amazing. They had this laser, and I still remember the place was so packed. It was just unbelievable. And you know what? It can be done again, and it should be done again. And I believe what Dave had said. You need the right leadership. You need the right people behind it. And I definitely think it should be done. And I hate to say this, I don't get into politics here, but I am going to make this statement. What we have there right now is not the leadership for it.
You know what the biggest lie somebody told me is that it's not that easy. Because it is that easy.
It is that easy.
It is that easy. They say it's not that easy because they want to discourage you from doing it. They want to stop people from doing it. But it is that easy.
Listen,
all you got to do is put a team together and get it done.
Correct.
Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. It's how dedicated you are to doing it.
I mean, anything.
Right?
True.
Absolutely. It's definitely doable. It's possible, but you need the right team and you need the right leadership at the top to do it. And as long as you got that, the team will come together. And listen, I do events all the time. Smaller scales, larger scales, I've done them all. And it's definitely possible. You can do it. Putting the right team together to do it. And not only the team, but that team has to be the right team in order to get the right entertainment to be there.
Yes.
Sure.
And not just, you got to have and again, I'm not saying, I'm going to stay away from politics. Yeah, but you just need the right team to do it in the right avenue and the right people to be there.
And I think you need the right event planner, right? You need an event planner for an event like that, right?
do.
I happen to know a guy.
Hey, listen, I know a guy.
What do we got this weekend, brother?
So as always, Thursday nights, I'm heading over to the George right now in downtown. Alex on the piano. Listen, speaking of the George, a lot of people don't know this, but Alex just bought and he's officially opened already, a new place on Federal Hill on Atlas Ave, Cigarro, which used to be the old Lou Cigars, premium cigars on the hill, 2 floors. There's a golf simulator inside this place. I went through it the other day with Alex, and this place is unbelievable. you're looking for a place to come have a cigar, even if it's not a cigar, just to come down and hang out, have a bourbon, a whiskey, a fine wine. 2 floors, amazing place. Definitely should come check this out. It's on Atlas Ave. It's called Cigarro. It just opened up officially. It opened up yesterday. So if you're in the city, definitely swing by and take a look at this place. It's unbelievable what they did to this place.
Nice.
So I was so happy for Alex that he did that.
I saw some of the posts, man, and the venue looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. The poker table, the simulator, the private lockers. I mean, I was very big into cigar smoking.
Not surprised.
Until I had my heart attack.
Right.
With Alex.
Right.
Everything
he does is top notch.
Yeah. So
Will, you have to come with us.
Yeah,
we have to go out for a guys' night. Will's coming next time.
Oh, he has to.
Will's coming next time, Marco. Next guys' night. Will's coming with us.
Listen, we got it. It's fun. Trust me. These guys are crazy. I thought I could hang.
Yeah, you're talking about me. We just couldn't find our car, bro. We just couldn't find the car, dude. It's like 2 hours walking around Providence.
Dude, where's my car?
That's exactly what it was.
Where's my car, right?
Right. Look, I need to say, David was sober by the time we got back to the car.
I was.
Oh, yeah. I kept walking around.
I was trashed. I sobered up real quick.
So, Thursday nights, we're going to the George right now where Alex is playing his piano. Oh, yeah. It'll be on from 7 to 10 p.m. Definitely come join us down there. And, of course, as always, the Hot Club, looking for a drink. There is a DJ there tonight, so swing by if you can. And officially this week right now, that actually started tonight, Moonshines is your location to come on down and watch the games. They have all the games playing. Definitely come on down. If you know what Moonshines is about, it's an unbelievable place. There's entertainment all weekend also. They are going to be opening a little bit late, starting, I believe, today. So come on down to Moonshines, check it out. It's unbelievable.
Hey, can I tell you that was everybody's favorite place? That was everybody's favorite place that night.
Yes, it was.
Oh, of course it was, man. That's unbelievable.
The music was great.
Yeah.
The entertainment, they nailed all the songs. Like, you want good.
That band was great.
Live music was great venue. It's beautiful in that place. I would love to see something like that happen in the city.
And I'm going to say this: if anybody's trying to get a table there this weekend, and if they can't, for some reason, if they're able to get the table, hit us up at Social Table Events, 508-989-5552, or inboxes at any of our social media ballots, and we'll definitely be able to work something out for you, trying to get anybody in there, because I know their reservations are going pretty quick.
That's it. Tell them Bobby Couto sent you.
Yeah, tell them Bobby Couto sent you. Get to the door, tell them Bobby Couto sent you.
Excellent.
There you go.
And then, of course, tomorrow we're not at the brew house this week, unfortunately.
Okay.
There was a little bit of confusion going on there. That we are not at the brew house this week, but we are back the following weekend, and also on the 27th. Neighboring town here, Warren, Rhode Island, we're going to be at the Perella's for our Sinatra night.
Okay.
So if we still got us a few reservations left there. It's Perella's Italian restaurant. They're over on Medicom Ave in Warren, and there are still tables left for the Sinatra night. So
great.
If you're looking to for Sinatra night, we got another
tequila
Sinatra
lime,
night coming up.
Nothing with tequila lime yet. We got to do something with tequila lime. We got to do something over there.
I know. Listen, the funny thing is, I've never been in tequila lime.
I went once.
Still to this day.
That was really good.
I've never been there. No, I've never been there. Like I told you guys, until I came back to the brew house, I kind of stayed away from doing things in the city, for many reasons.
Well, I usually stay away from Mexican food for personal reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, no, tequila lime is definitely a place to be, man. I like I said, I personally have never been there, but I've heard people talk about it, and obviously
Nick's amazing. Nick O's owner operator.
He's
just an amazing human being. So we always want to support him as much as we possibly can. Are you going to the Days of Portugal this weekend?
You know what? So I was thinking about it. Again, leaving politics out of things. I don't know how. We'll probably go by during the day. I'll leave it at that. We'll probably definitly go by during the day. We were at the day of Portugal at Providence.
Oh, okay. I saw that.
Sunday.
I saw the pictures of that.
Yeah. So we were there Sunday.
Portuguese. I was about to call you.
No, so we always do the Boston one. That's the one we normally go. They canceled the Boston one this year.
Yeah.
They canceled it this year because of the World Cup. But Providence still had theirs last week, and we were there. It was amazing. Joey even there was performing. It was unbelievable. He came in from LA, and he was there. His band was great, as always they are. But he's, I definitely wanted to go by on Sunday at the Fall River one, because they got Shamaliula, who's coming from Portugal to be performing, and he's an amazing artist, and I grew up listening to him, to his music from my parents.
Right.
So I was, I always say this about the Portuguese Pride festivals, from Boston to Providence to many of them. I always want to say the Fall River one seems to bring the biggest artists. And I don't know who
Shout
I don't
out
know
to
who's working
Kevin
that
Santos.
out. But
That's Kevin
I
Santos.
was going to say it's got to
shout
be
out
Kevin Santos.
It
and
is.
his
It's
crew.
Kevin. Yeah,
They
dude, I
do an
see him.
amazing
He
job.
works- I'm in that restaurant working almost every day. I see him working every day. You know what I mean? Like he's
nonstop.
dedicated. Yeah, he's having
Yeah.
meetings. He's putting it all together. Yeah.
Yeah, the talent's good this year.
They do an amazing.
Very good
They do an
talent.
amazing job.
Yeah,
yeah. Don't
last
say
year
they do
was
an amazing
amazing.
job of bringing in. Yeah, correct. Yeah, last year's that actually surprised me getting that kid to come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
So
turning
that
point.
was that was very good.
When
But yeah,
the event stops, they're already planning for next year. They're
I believe it,
years
yeah.
in advance in planning that.
Wow.
Kevin and his
Yeah,
committee.
they're
It's a
on
good
it.
deal.
They're on it, and he's passionate. There's a passion.
have to
there.
be to make it a success.
Oh, we
exactly.
can see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pride. That's the pride you were talking about.
Right.
There it is.
There it was. Right? That's the pride.
Right.
Right. Leader in,
so just
leader in the community.
yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. He's amazing the way they do that down there. So I will definitely go by this weekend. I mean, I have to stop in regardless, just to make the presence. But so all weekend long. I mean, there's so much going on. I know the fan experience for the FIFA games just opened up today officially in Providence. I believe that there's one in the city of Fall River as well. I don't know the location of it, but I thought there was something going on as well for the games or viewing parties.
Yeah, I know. I know TA's has it. So if you want to come in, I know that they actually had the games on. They've had them on, and I know there's a couple.
Okay.
A couple of the places, like you said. I think most places are viewing it. I guess it depends on who you want your compadres to be. You know what I mean? Who you want to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for an outdoor spot to go, I mean, it's in Providence, right across from. I believe they're doing it right across from the State House. That's where
that's
they're
cool.
doing it on the grass
That's
there.
cool.
And it's free. It's completely free. There's vendors. There's a bunch of things going on there, and they're running all day long.
Oh wow.
So definitely.
And the
if you're in the
USA
area,
versus
but
Paraguay, that's tomorrow at 9 p.m. That'll be airing
tomorrow 9 p.m. Right? Yeah.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
And then Portugal is playing on Wednesday, June 17th.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Your
but like I
favorite
said,
to
it's
win.
free. Come on down to Providence. Go and go through there and check it out.
No Medici.
And
No
also-
Medici this week.
So yeah, I was gonna say. So our big thing this weekend is Saturday night at Medici. There are some tickets still available. I believe VIPs are sold out already completely. World-renowned DJ. This guy's unbelievable. Multiple awards. Multi-platinum recording artist. Boris is going to be at Medici this Saturday night. So it's his first return back to Providence since I believe it was therapy last time he was here, and it was actually another Alex Tomaso nightclub.
Yeah.
So he's going to be he'll be over at Medici this weekend.
And
Tickets,
what is-
there are some tickets available.
Okay.
What is it?
What is Boris? What kind of music is he? So people understand like what.
It's a lot of EDM house music.
Perfect. So people know when they hear what kind
Good
of
Boris, what you think it was?
Yeah.
Boris.
I'll give you many things.
little Russian music.
But I'll be honest. We had Louis DeVito there a couple months ago,
Dude,
and
that
obviously you
was
guys,
amazing.
you
I was
were
there. I was there. That was amazing, bro. That was incredible.
So that was awesome. I mean, we completely sold out. We got
Yeah.
Boris. They already, and I'll tell you something. They're already working on the next one, which I believe. I don't care. I'll put it out there. I believe it's Jonathan Peters.
wow.
Who's going to be coming? So yeah, we're already working on the next one, bringing him into
I
the
love it
DJ.
when you tell us
So,
a little secret. You know that? I want you to know that. I do. I love that.
Hey, Mark, I have a great idea for a night. We should do
Yep.
hamster racing.
Hey, that's a great idea. Jeez, you
Listen,
guys.
I don't think that was a successful night.
And I had no idea what was going on.
I think we need a ham. Listen, I was looking
The audience
forward
has
to it.
no
I thought,
idea what
I
the
thought I was going.
context.
I thought I was going underground and doing some underground
Listen,
bets.
honestly, when
That's what I thought.
Alex said that they had a hamster race and we get there and the manager said, well, nobody ever showed up with the hamsters. I'm like, so this was a real thing.
Canceled.
It really was. It really was. That's so funny.
I was going to Medici just for that. I was looking so forward to it.
Oh man!
But now
But
we
listen,
know, now we
also
know it's
October 10th. I know it was so far out, but October 10th we have announced the Sopranos show at the Brew House.
Bada bing.
The tickets are going on. Yeah, that's right. So Frank Santarelli will be there. Joey, I think Frank. Actually, I think Will knows Frank.
Yes.
Well, do you know Frank Santarelli?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And,
Yeah.
Also, a few of the cast members I know.
Yeah, John Fiore.
Yep, I know John.
Yeah,
also.
correct. Yeah. So so we're gonna have that show on October 10th. It's a comedy show / Neil Diamond impersonator. So it's gonna be a
good
great
show.
night.
Yeah, we're definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, well, yeah. The tickets will be on sale very shortly, and I know that event will sell out. So
Excellent.
Sweet.
Is that it? Is that all you got, my friend?
That's for this weekend. I hope to see everybody come down. Whoever's available could come down and hang out with Boris over at Medici, and of course, I'll be popping into Moonshines as well. And we'll have a good time over the weekend.
Yeah.
And of
if you
course,
see,
obviously,
listen,
the
I want to tell
Portugal
you,
and Fall
if you
River.
see Marco, say hello. Mark, right? You're a friendly guy, man. You want to talk to everybody.
I love it, man.
Right?
I love to take pictures.
Follow the scent. Follow the scent.
Just follow the scent.
You'll eventually find them.
Yeah. I can put a blindfold on and find you in a crowded
If it
room.
gets stronger and stronger, you're close.
Yeah.
You're real close.
I'll tell you what, though, you got competition because Will smells really good. So
Yeah, he
I don't know,
does.
man.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
Listen, I believe it.
Marco Andrade, Social Table Events. Make sure you reach out, socialtableevents.net. And, of course, Social Table Events on all social media platforms. Marco, thank you so much for the update. We appreciate you.
Marco, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. And I got to say this before we go.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you make a run. I hope you make a run.
Thank
I hope you make a run.
Me too, bro.
I'll leave it at that.
Me too.
And I'm saying this as a citizen of the city, born and raised in the city. I truly, you know what? We need you back desperately. And I'm not
Amen.
even joking.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Guys,
Marco.
thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks.
Be safe, man.
Thanks. Mate.
To kind of segue into that, we've had a lot of comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read two.
Sure, go for it.
So Jared Carson said to the mayor, I wish I was paying more attention to the city like I am now when Will was mayor. And I think what he's trying to say is we would have appreciated
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
when you were mayor.
Yeah.
I think we didn't
Yeah.
see the big picture.
Yeah.
I think we found reasons and stupid things and whatever to even complain about, because I think that's our nature overall.
But I appreciate-
we're never
listen,
satisfied.
I know Jared,
But now we can
and
look back on
I
this and be like,
appreciate him.
100% now we get it. And that's what he's trying to say.
But Jared, Jared, if you don't mind
That's
me
fine.
saying so, he's now capturing the dilapidation, right?
my God.
'Cause-
He's doing
and
a
he's
great
making
job.
it visual. So
Isn't it amazing?
So what he does, he's a crusader. I appreciate everything he does,
You know-
and he's bringing awareness to it. But I'm gonna check him on that and say, I don't know that the city was what it was when you were the mayor, Will. I don't know that he would have the content to capture when you were the mayor.
No.
The city wasn't that what
Wasn't
it is now.
dilapidated.
Exactly. That. So, you know what I
we
mean?
just didn't
It's-
see it. We just didn't see it.
Right.
We believed in the broken windows theory. We preached it. We didn't allow the graffiti to fester. We didn't allow the streets to be dirty. We didn't allow the street lights to be out.
Forcing these landlords
Potholes.
to, right? These
Yep.
owners of these buildings to keep up with these buildings.
We
right?
made national news in a good way
Yeah.
for all the work we did on absentee landlords. The horror
Yeah.
stories I was hearing 15 years ago about landlords who were allowing their developments to become crack dens, havens for crime, landlords who were pressuring their tenants for sexual favors in order to pay their rents. Horrible, horrible stories. Children playing in hallways with hypodermic needles on the ground, rat infested, cockroach infested. When we would show up with our teams, people would cry tears of joy because we saved them. We got them out of there. They were trapped. I still remember the headline in the newspaper with the guy's picture, trapped. He was trapped in that apartment. He could not get out.
Oh my God, what a feeling!
And to have that feeling that help was on the way, and it was easy to do. All we needed to do was look at the hot maps. We created heat maps in the city.
Okay.
So again, this is 20 years ago we did this.
Sure.
Heat maps. We would look at a neighborhood, how many calls they were getting for police services, what types of calls they were getting.
Trending.
And then we would just track it from there. Okay, this is a hot spot. This is a hot spot. This is a hot spot. Then we would, who's behind on their taxes? Who's behind on their water fees? Who's behind on their sewer fees? Start zeroing more. Whose buildings look like crack houses? You
Right,
know?
right.
Focus in on it.
Right.
And then we would send our inspectional services team in there. And then we would get the affidavits. We would go to court and say, we need to inspect these properties. And then we would shut them down. But when we shut them down, we had services lined up for the tenants who were there because a lot of the tenants were good tenants. They were just trapped there
Right.
because the criminal element infiltrated those buildings.
Imagine
They
trapped
weren't
in
on
your
the
own
lease. They were just setting up shops there.
It's wild.
We got them out. A lot of these people had warrants, illegal firearms. They would leave guns in the rafters in case if you needed it. That was like the neighborhood gun. They would just go get it because it was there. We were proactive. It was proactive policing. You can't be reactionary.
Right.
You got to be proactive. You got to stop the crime before it happens.
So, Will, do you think that's still happening today? Like these?
Well, that was my next question.
Yeah, right.
Is the gun still in the rafter?
right. And now,
Is that still a known thing?
And now you're not here to, right? We're not. The teams aren't here to help these people, right? So, how many people are trapped with no help in sight?
Well, we've seen the city go to shit in a sense with the building, so you can only imagine how bad it is now, right?
Not
Compared
only are the guns in the rafters, they're in the waistband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause there you go. The fear is gone. We
Well,
don't need
you're
to,
all over this, man.
We don't need to have it just up there. We can carry it on ourselves. You see the shift?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where you start seeing a city when the law the law and order is not there. Well, you know what? I can carry this
Wasn't
over
it
here,
just
and,
two
and
young
no one's
kids in a car driving up Plymouth Avenue shooting bullets out the window? That wasn't too long ago.
That was not a long
So
ago.
the question here is, those kids thought they could do that and get away with it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't think that
Consequences.
there were no
We thought,
consequences.
you know, listen, we had our own type of thinking back then for who we were back then. We didn't have guns shooting in the air, but like we knew that again we would have that thought process of what's the consequences.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The consequences back then seemed
David,
so severe.
Yeah, but David,
now it
how
don't
about the
seem
chance
as
of
severe.
killing someone?
Correct.
We're not talking about hurting someone, right? We're not talking about. We're talking about killing an innocent
like those
person.
laws have
Yes.
been lenient over the years.
Yes.
Where years ago, if you killed somebody, you're doing life.
Yeah, but
it wasn't questioned.
I think you missed my point. My point is, never mind the law, bro.
Yeah.
Never mind the law. How about the morality?
The morality,
How about
yeah.
these children being brought up with the understanding that there is nothing more precious than human life?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's no excuse. Like there's nothing that's going to convince anyone that it's okay to hurt someone else.
Correct.
And so if you're not brought up with these morals, if you don't understand what actual the value of life, then you're shooting guns out the window thinking that it's totally fine.
Yeah, 100%.
It's sad to think that in a city like Fall River that has so much potential, so many good people still here, that it's the criminal element that's grabbing the headline. It's the negative story that's being pushed out into the city, not because we want to, but because it's happening. These are facts, right? And we can't stick our head in the sand and deny that it's happening.
Right.
These aren't one-offs. These aren't, one-time things. This is a common occurrence right now.
That's what he said.
Okay?
That's what he said.
It's a common occurrence. And you got to stop it from happening because it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what Mayor Coogan went on television today, and his explanation, I guess I call it an explanation. He's like, "Well, this happens everywhere. Like this, it's unfortunate that it happened here." That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm a little, not verbatim, but
Well,
that's exactly what he said.
It's almost cold, right? It's almost there was no emotion with that response.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well,
there
but
was
I
no
mean,
remorse.
How would you address that? Like you got to talk to your people.
Yeah.
How are you addressing people?
Think about it for a moment. You have two people who were killed, so their families are in mourning. You have somebody who just probably threw their life away and is going to be convicted of a prison sentence and do life in prison.
Yeah.
You have a community that's concerned about their public safety. Mm-hmm. If you're a parent right now, are you letting your children go outside on Etna Street and play?
Absolutely not.
Right? The property owners in that neighborhood worrying about their health, their safety, their well-being. It's not a one-off.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy. And it's a tragedy that's happening too many times in a city that was not known for this type of element.
Right.
Fall River was known for its grit, its hard work. A lot of good things came out of this city and continue to come out of this city.
Yes.
You can't let the criminal element take over.
Right.
You can't.
But I think a big piece of this, I know leadership. We discussed leadership, obviously being, would say what the obvious, right? But the other point of that is, how do we get industry back here, right? How do we convince these corporations, these companies, to be like, hey, come to Fall River?
Communication,
Right?
Bobby. It's all communication. You have to get on the phone with the leaders in industry. You talk about nightlife. You talk about restaurants. You start pinpointing who are the mover and shakers in New Bedford. You grab the Silverstein family, you bring them to Fall River.
Correct.
Who's the movers and shakers in Providence? You grab them, you bring them here. Boston, big entertainment, nightlife people, bring them to Fall River. You got to communicate. We got Amazon here through communication. Mm-hmm. That was a multi-year process we went through to get that global entity here in Fall River. Mm-hmm. But it happened by communication, showing people what Fall River had to offer, the incentives we had to bring, to lure them here, to attract them here.
Yep.
If you're not taking the shots, you're not going to score the points.
Right.
So you got to be focused on it, and you got to build a team to help you do it, for the follow-ups, for the job fairs, for the networking events. How many events is Fall River going to highlighting the community and highlighting the city? When there's an event in Europe or the West Coast or Southeast or, Southwest, are we there promoting our city?
Right.
And what are we promoting? The negative aspect of it? When somebody Googles Fall River, what stories are popping up? I encourage your audience right now, Google Fall River. Go to the search bar, Yahoo, Google. What stories are popping up? What are our 5 lead stories right now? You don't want that.
Right.
You want the lead stories to be innovation, technology, people who are looking for good work, high graduation rates, low crime rates.
Yes.
That's what you want Fall River to be known for.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny because what I've been noticing is that you're a great communicator. You say something that gets my attention. When we hear something, let's say things that happen across the country or locally, and we ask a question, it's like, well, that's a tough one. Well, that's hard to do this and hard to do that. And what I hear from you is, rather than saying it's hard, you already have solutions, or you have ideas. You say it's easy.
It's easy.
It's easy.
I've never heard anybody say that.
I've never heard it.
I've never heard anybody say that well. I'm almost taken back by that, but I love it. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I totally get
There's
it.
no
Right, but I've never heard somebody respond and be like, it's easy.
It's
because
easy.
anybody else would say, oh, it's a monumental feat that almost there's no solution.
So any hope, any dreams that you have in it is gone. They don't belong there.
They don't belong there.
They don't belong there.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be an advocate. You gotta love what you do.
True.
Right?
True.
And you want to surround yourself with the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to motivate people to get the best out of them. However, surround yourself with the wrong people, you plummet to the bottom real quickly.
100%.
Okay? So you want to surround yourself with the best, the experts, whether it's in policing, fire, economic development. You want nothing but the best people on your team. When you get the best people, it's easy.
Yeah.
Everything just clicks and it's in place. It's easy to do your job. And you take some of the burden off of yourself by delegating.
Right.
Because if you got to do it all yourself, you got to burn yourself out quickly.
True that.
You got to delegate and be able to count on your team, and your team gets the job done with you.
You know, and I'd like to shift a little bit if we could.
Sure.
I mean, that's amazing insight, Will. I want to talk about the recall real quick. And I don't want to talk about the details. I just want to, because I know you have a legal background and you understand certain things. And I think there are people still out there that don't understand what quite took place and why the recall just kind of disappeared. Do you happen to know, like, what actually took place and why that kind of just faded away?
I don't, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Because, I mean, I would ask. I just don't know. Because last thing I heard that there was the affidavits wasn't filled out right and there was some missing information and it just kind of poof, just disappeared. Yeah. But the only reason I asked
leadership
is because
stood down as well, right? The leader of stepped down.
Yes. But the point I'm saying is that there was traction there, right? There were people that were motivated and were interested in that.
Absolutely.
And I found it very surprising that it just disappeared. Yeah. Like there was no, hey, this is what we're going to do.
And they would have got the signatures, I believe.
I don't know, man.
I mean, listen,
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
He lost the election by 200 votes. Mm. And a lot has happened since then, believe it or not, right? So, and if they were continuing this, and there was still traction there with the scenario that happened today, with those double murders, would have amplified it. People would have saw, again, his response, where they're seeing lack of leadership. Yeah, there's just a lack of everything, right? That creates a good leader, and we're not seeing any direction.
David, I think a lot of people
it's just a lot of noise in the background, right?
I think a lot of people feel the same way I do, and that is that I think I thought it was a waste of time. Like I just think that rather than try to recall him, I think why don't we find the next mayor? Like let's focus our energy in finding the next person who's going to bring us to greatness, right? Sure. I'd rather do that than, because again, that recall situation, to me, everything about it is negative. Like there's not going to be one single conversation that comes out of that's a positive conversation. It's a terrible situation. It's terrible to have to do that. And quite frankly, if you're Googling Fall River, it's just another terrible situation, right? So for me, I was always encouraging people. Reached
It
out
does
to
look
me,
bad for the city when
and
you see
people
recall.
asked me, they're like,
Yeah.
Bobby, would you help us support? Would you support us in this? And and I said it. I'll help anything, but this, I'm not. I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
If you
No, I
guys
can
if you
understand
guys
that.
want to come to me with the next guy, with the next champion, I want to support that. I want to bring him on the show. I'll literally put a bumper sticker on the back of my truck if you want me to. but at the end of the day, I think that situations like that are detrimental to the process, right?
Sure,
Because
sure.
again, we already know. Right?
Sure.
It already happened.
Yeah.
What's done is done. By the time you get there, it's already too late anyway. You know what I mean? You're like 6 months away from the next election. What's the point?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was asking that.
You're right.
It was something that just kind of blew up and just went away.
I wish I had more info.
Yeah. No, that's
on
okay.
it,
That's fine. But to me, I'm totally okay with it. And but I said to myself, I'm going to ask Will about it because I know, again, just your legal aspect. You know, you're not so much anything else because I know that's a very touchy subject for a lot of people. Like people just don't want
and
to.
maybe it wasn't even more on a legal thing. It could have just, again with the stuff.
Well, look, Corporation Counsel said it was incorrect. Like
the paperwork was
the paperwork.
was
The
but
submission was
but
incorrect.
can they just refile? Was it the
I don't have the
yeah,
answer
see,
to
that's
that.
that's what we don't know.
I don't know. And that's kind of where it kind of faded
died
away
off.
and it went away. Which is,
Yeah.
again, I'm glad because now for me, we start thinking about the next people up. So for me, I think to myself, well, who might be the next people that are coming up to support the city? And I think
Right. We got elections this year, right?
Yep.
You have district attorney,
Yes.
state senators,
Yes.
state reps.
Yeah, we do.
yes,
So
and some exciting candidates, like
and you
some
got
really
governor
exciting candidates,
too, right?
Yeah,
Governor and U.S. Senate.
Yes,
So
yes.
you have every election at the state and county level taking place. So you can start now. Take a focus on who's running.
Sure.
Who's your state rep? Who's your state senator? When's the last time you saw him or her? Have they done anything to help your community?
Right.
Who their opponents are? Are they better or worse?
Yeah.
Right?
Will,
so people
how
have
many-
to get involved.
How many people would you ask? Hey, name your state reps. How many people do you think could actually name them?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, quite a few would.
That bums me out.
I would say it's more on the negative than it is on the
Right.
positive. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And that
It's just a lack of current events.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I'm not trying to sound sexist here, but I feel like men tend to be more involved in that space, learning more current events. What's
Well, if
going
you ask
on,
Jessica
right?
Machado that, she'll say no.
Well, I said I didn't say entirely. Yeah, she's an anomaly, right?
Canceled.
She's very different. Yeah. But you just said you do see it though.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
do.
I mean,
Yes.
you asked the women in my life, and unfortunately, they just don't seem interested. It's not interesting to them. Where for I
Right.
guess for a man, these things are interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of it's in our DNA. It's one of those things where we have to stay current because we're thinking about so many different
But
things.
is it like baseball? Like, for
You know?
example, I think the Red Sox are a perfect example to the point I'm going to make right now. When the Red Sox are winning, right? When they're winning, everybody's watching. Everybody's interested in the Red Sox.
Correct.
People are watching. It's, again, I love the game of baseball. It's the most boring sport on the planet. I'm just going to
Yeah.
say that. It's fair
Yeah.
is fair.
Yeah.
But people will go and sit for 9 innings and watch a baseball game when they're winning. But when they're losing, nobody wants anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants any part of it. Nobody, like, you can't give away tickets.
well, that's why they call it the bandwagon.
And so
right?
I guess my point here is like, is that what politics are?
Yes.
Right. When not to bring up Donald Trump, but when Donald Trump was running, that was a very animated campaign.
Yeah.
People
It was
got
exciting.
involved.
It was very
You
exciting.
created like a lot of. It stimulated.
Well, we had the Charlie Kirks as well. I mean, they played people like
Absolutely,
that. played
100%.
a massive
But
role in
again,
these
that's a
things.
great point too. My point is, where are the Charlie Kirks that could promote our local
Yeah.
politics? Right? Like maybe it's entertaining. Maybe it's a situation where maybe some of these politicians are going to the schools and engaging these students to be like, hey, this is exciting. Maybe we have events. Maybe there's concerts. Again, bringing the excitement back because politics are boring.
They are.
Right? How do you convince a young person who's not Alex Keaton to listen to politics? Right? So how do we get these?
And
right?
I agree with you on that.
So, like, just to pull a page out of the Democratic playbook, the Democrats did it with Kamala Harris running for president.
Correct.
They brought all the entertainers in, right? Beyonce, like they were all showing. Why did they do that?
But it didn't translate into votes, though.
It did not.
it did not.
It did not. But
Good point.
people showed up.
They showed up.
People showed up.
And people will show up for a good time, right? People will show up to be
exciting.
entertained,
Yep.
exciting,
It's fun.
something to do. But didn't translate into votes where it was needed.
Right. Right.
So
right.
when you
fair.
looked at that electoral map and you only had 3 or 4 states in play, a Cardi B concert wasn't making a difference.
Right.
It might have hurt you in those
Right.
3 or 4 states,
Yes,
right?
it did. Yeah.
So
Well, that's a great point.
You gotta know
Right?
your audience.
Exactly, because these concerts will probably put on for people who go see them already, right? Where you need those swing states might be an area like, I don't know, New Hampshire that doesn't understand
Yeah.
maybe that kind of music because you go up north. It's a little different up north, right?
You just raised a good point, Bobby, and I'll delve into it a little further for you. Take that theory and break it down to business. We already have our businesses here. You got to support them, make sure they're doing well. But you got to go out and attract new businesses, right?
Yes.
So take your Cardi B example. You got Cardi B playing to your base. Base gets excited. But did it attract any new voters to your base?
Right.
Probably not. It might have alienated them,
True.
right?
Yes.
So you got to take care of what you have, but also attract more to get the city to where it needs to be.
Yes.
And that's with business, it's with public safety, it's with education, it's with DCM. Any of the spokes on the wheel, you got to be doing more to make them grow.
Do they still do politics at school? Do they still like the student body? Do they still do that?
They still do,
They still do
yeah.
that. Like I haven't heard any of
They didn't
that.
do that
you know?
at Diamond. I don't remember that at Diamond. Did they do that in your time? You went to Diamond, right?
Yeah, student president, no, we had student council.
Yeah, we had when I was in school, they didn't have that.
Because that's important.
Yeah,
I was on the student
I
council.
graduated.
Like,
Yeah.
that was important. I felt like I had impact.
Yeah. If we did, I don't remember any of it, to be honest with you.
I mean, granted, we were voting on
it
voting
doesn't
and
ring a
stuff,
bell.
but still, we had a vote. Like it mattered. Like it felt like
I'm on the
Well,
Diamond School
100%.
Board now, and we have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's a good thing. And again, introducing
I
younger
agree.
people
I
to like politics doesn't have to be boring, right?
Well, okay, and that's my point. So if I asked, let's say, my girlfriend, right, and I told her, I said, you know, she finds it, to be honest with you, she finds politics more entertaining now. She actually enjoys learning through me. To be honest with you, and she'll say, she's like, you kind of, when you explain things, you break it down where it's not so boring. She's like, I can't watch TV and learn something off the news, and she's like, it's just boring.
And it's negative.
It's negative,
Right, it's
and I can't
negative.
compute.
Yeah,
So
right,
when you
right.
say it, you explain it in a way that it's more interesting and more fun. So she's like, to be honest with you, without you, I really don't know what's going on in current events. And I think because it lacks that element of inviting and interesting, it's something you want to learn.
And
right?
that's why this show is so important. And we started off the program saying it. Bobby Couto show talks about current events.
Yeah.
Talks about things that are happening right now in Fall River. And at a time where you're losing that local touch, this show helps bridge that gap.
It's
Thank you,
refreshing
brother.
to hear.
Thank you. I mean, you know what, Will? We could sit here and scream into the void. You know what I mean? And you just never know who's listening. You know what I mean?
That's so
and
true.
you know, the idea to hear that, especially coming from someone like you, man. I have the utmost respect for you and everything you've done in your life.
Thank
and
you.
you are truly, I said it before and I'll say it again, you are the epitome of the show. Like you are the example of what the show is about. And that is,
Yeah.
you know, from here to here and just nothing but success. Just how far can I go? And never
That's
looking
the
back.
goal.
Right. And so, you know, to hear that from you and I appreciate the city, and sometimes people say things and you're like, wow, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Like, that's not my intent. And people, you know, they sometimes, I think they look at the intention and they think it's something different, and it's not. Like, the idea is I invite everyone to come in here. I invite everyone to have an opinion. I invite anyone to share
Encourage them.
their experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because if we stop communicating, once we stop talking, the perfect example is text messaging.
Correct.
Right? People text message. There's no context in that
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
Zero.
I don't-
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you're happy. I don't know if you're mad. Like,
Yeah, you don't know the
and
emotions.
so,
though.
and so-
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And so that's what we live with, right? It's
Yeah.
the unknown. And I think that not to make the example, but our society is only getting half of the information. They're missing the emotion. They're missing
absolutely.
the context of what actually is happening. And then our media and our news, you know, they put these headlines on. You ever see these now? Like, the headline is longer than the story.
Correct.
Right? They put this gigantic headline. It frames the story, and then you read the story, and it's like, no,
Yeah, that was today with me on TV. I was watching TV. And it's like it was a short clip. They made the opening like that. It was just like I'm sitting there, like I didn't get any information from that. It's like these little short clips now of information, and none of it's sticking. You know what I mean? Because there's no context. There's not a whole lot of information that's being told to us.
right. And again, reminding ourselves that these people that are on the news, they're not journalists. They're actors. They're reading teleprompters.
Entertainers.
That's what they are.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they become
they're not Walter Cronkite.
influencers on TV.
That's
right?
exactly it.
That's
Yes.
what they are.
But
They've changed titles.
But we still look at that. You know, we still look at that person. Oh, what they're telling me is true. Like they're bonded by the
hard.
commitment of journalism, right? But if you're not a journalist, then you're not committed to that. So you know, that's what we see. And I again, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, take your pick. They're all the same.
Yeah.
It's the narrative. And sometimes I'm flicking through and I'll hear something. And I'm like, that is so one-sided. Like, anybody hearing that, even if you're not watching the TV and you hear the words, you're like, what? What? But that's the idea that they will continue to do that to manipulate the story whichever way they want. You know what I mean? And it comes to when it's the president and there's no respect for the president. No matter what you think of it, the president is the president.
Sure.
And I tell you right now, the company I work for has a CEO. And I happen to like him very much. But just to say for this conversation, I didn't like him. Yeah. But he's very successful. And he does an amazing job of running my company. It is not his responsibility for me to like him. It is my responsibility to support him in growing the company and creating greatness, right?
That's what he pays you for.
My friendship with the CEO of the company should not matter.
I agree.
My relationship with the president of the United States does not matter. He is running the country, and I have to respect the position of president.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's changed. That's changed. People, that's not my president. And so again,
That's
and I
right.
only
It's
say
very
this,
true.
and some people will be like, "Oh my God, listen, you say what you want, no matter what, it's the seat. You have to respect the seat of the president of the United States.
Correct.
That is the most powerful seat in the world.
Yeah.
Not just the country, the world. And we talk about him and we say these derogatory things. I tell you right now, if my kid talked to me that way, I'd punch him in the eye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yet we talk about our leaders and our presidents this way. It just
And that goes both ways.
Yep.
So I was not a huge Biden fan. I disliked a lot of the stuff that he did.
Mm-hmm.
But I still respected the office.
Yes.
I still respected the man
Sure.
because the man earned his spot there. So I have to respect him. Respect him for that.
Maybe.
In alone, what I'm saying is, again, I can disagree with everything.
Sure.
You can be on the complete opposite aisle of me, and we can never see eye to eye.
Yep.
But you've earned that spot
Yeah.
to be there, and you know what? I have to respect that. I can not agree with you. I can disagree with you. I can call you out.
I love that you
But
said this.
but to be honest with you, I don't want to be that person
Yep.
that hates you
Yeah.
because of these things.
So-
I'm assuming that you're doing these things because
Absolutely.
for the right reasons,
Yeah.
and I have to respect that.
Yes. So which segues into my next point.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of joining Cliff Ponte on his podcast yesterday. It was a profound moment for me. You know what I mean? I do this as long as I've been doing this, but to be here and to be invited to his studio and sit down and have a conversation with him. And I will share a little bit of that conversation. A little bit of the context of that conversation went along the lines of, we talked about Paul. And, I had some opinions and some things that I said. And but when I was done speaking, I was very clear and I said, I like Paul Coogan. I like the person Paul Coogan. Because I disagree with the things that he does not mean that I do not like the man.
Sure.
And so if you ask most people will tell you they hate him.
Oh yeah,
But they don't know why.
Yeah, there's a clear.
They don't know why.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's a husband, right? He's been in service for the city for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Principal,
I'm not
teacher.
saying he's my best friend, but I say that I respect the man as a man. And because I don't agree with his political actions,
Correct.
does not mean that I hate him or that I'm going to.
Well, yeah, his actions don't drive me to hate him, right?
So the
Yeah.
greater point here, I think we need to get away from that. You
Correct.
need to
I
remove
agree.
the emotion of politics. I think the design has been such. Insert emotion because that's where irrationality lives, right?
Correct.
When we become emotional, we're irrational.
Correct,
If
yeah.
you remove the emotion, if you look at the position for what it is, if again, back to the CEO of my company, I don't have to like him or the things that he does, but I have to
better
respect the
respect
position
him.
because the work that he does provides me with an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so I just invite the audience to conceptualize some of that. We're going to be voting again. November's right around the corner, right? And just because of your emotions, look at the facts. Who do you really truly believe in, right? What are the things that are being done that you think are going to make a difference? If you just get mad and be like, I'm not going to do it, screw them, or it's the same old shit and file all this, that doesn't help anybody.
No, I challenge
Right?
you make a good point. I think I challenge people to, when they go to the voting booth for the first time, if they've never done this, try to take the emotion out of it.
Yeah,
right. Just
right.
try to be more logical in the sense and what's best. Right. Think about it. Go look through it. Don't react
Be aware.
because you hate this man and love this man because this woman has a D on the side of her name and that one has an R. It can't.
Yes.
You can't vote
Right.
like that because if
Right.
you vote like that, there's no change.
Right.
It stays the same forever. It's the same system, and it just gets worse and worse, believe it or not. Because then, we don't have a whole lot of Republicans in this state. You know what I mean? So the balance is off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So a lot of us have no representation, and it would be nice. It would be nice to see a balance of some sort.
Well, do you think
because
the
the parties
independent
will
could thrive here? Do you think an independent could thrive here?
100%.
100%.
And when you look at mayor, city council, school committee, they are not
Yeah, no, bipartisan, right?
partisan-driven
Yeah,
races.
Yeah.
So the same thing can be said for a state rep or a senator or even a district attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that more and more people are becoming independent. There's probably more independent voters or unenrolled voters than there are Democrat or Republicans. Whether they're voting or not is the different story.
Right.
For only, 7,000 people vote, 10,000 people vote out of a 60,000 registered. So I, too, encourage people, look, when you go to the ballot box, research who the candidates are. The great thing about local government is this. You can bump into your mayor at the grocery store. You can see the state rep or city councilor picking up their kids after school. You can't really do that with governor or president, right? Chances of you meeting your governor or president in person are slim.
Right.
The bubbles around them, safeties around them, protections around them. So local government, you get a chance to, they're your neighbor, right?
Here you are, Will. You know what I'm saying?
So you get the chance to have a dialogue with him or her. What do you stand for? What are you going to do to make my life, my family's life better or stop it from getting worse? You don't get to do that as you go up higher
True.
on the political ladder.
Right.
So take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But Bobby, again, I want to thank you for having me here.
Oh,
man.
Will, it's just been an amazing pleasure. I mean, it's just, I could talk to you forever. Like, I just keep, it's such great energy, brother.
Yes.
And listen, I'll say it again. You look amazing. Like,
Feel great.
man, your energy's there. And I just love the opportunity to have you come in here. And I'll say it again. I said it once, I'll say it again. You are a champion, sir. You are a class act. And
You also.
man, I feel blessed to know you, and I'm so grateful for all of this because people like you have come into my life, and just even when we're just like, hey, Will, how you doing? Those moments to me, they mean the world. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everything you're doing. I know that you're always working hard, brother, and I know you
have to be.
You're always doing stuff in the background, and I know there's a big future for you, brother. I know big things are coming from you, and I just look forward to it. And I want you to know that this door is always open for you. Whatever you need, any support, anything that we can do to support you in your mission, we are here, sir. We are here, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Jody Joe, what do you got?
Okay. I don't currently. Oh, actually, I just dropped the trailer to Ant's Late Night Show, season 2, episode 1.
I was hoping you, man. I was going to call you out.
Yeah. That's basically based on us going to LA.
Yeah.
That was a nice little trip.
Can we just shout out Corey real quick? He just got shouted out.
Yeah. He just got shouted out by Visit Fall River, Mass. He's
doing an expose on him.
I'm not gonna lie. They did really good on that. He called me up as soon as he saw it. I saw it before him.
What the city needs.
And I kind of I was trying to share everywhere so I could see it. And then, he called me up and he was just bawling his eyes out because he was so thankful. Man.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, something, Jody, you don't give you enough credit. You're part of that, my man.
I totally will take credit for it, and he knows, but he knows how I am. He knows how I am. I'm very all right, yeah, that's cool. I'll take my flowers, but we're not done with the work yet. We still got work to do. It's okay.
Absolutely,
it's okay to soak it in, but we're not done yet. I still live in the place where I live, so it's like we're still not done yet.
Like Rocky Balboa says, I didn't hear the bell.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So real quick, two things. June 19th. Right, Whites of Westport. Go down there. Tickets, you can scan them. Could you put that on the screen real quick, Jody?
Yep,
People can scan the screen. You can buy tickets. Eventbrite. That is Freestyle Madness Against Cancer. Saul Labaraz and Wes Strong, the student from Diamond, battling cancer.
Yes, yeah.
That event, 100% of the proceeds of that event goes to both of them. So if you can, please buy a ticket. Whether or not you want to go, that's up to you.
Yeah,
but
just buy the ticket if you want to support.
Buy the ticket. They're $50, and just know that 100% of the proceeds of that are going to help those families that desperately need the help.
Absolutely.
I was talking to Saul, and he's doing that T cell therapy.
Yep.
It's like $100,000 a session, and it's so the cost is just astronomical. He's been fighting cancer for over 10 years, man.
Wow.
Over 10 years. Kidney cancer, melanoma, he's had quite a few variations of it. And so now this is he's at the hardest stage of his fight right now. And so whatever we can do to support that. And that's June 19th, Whites of Westport, Johnny O, Raquel, Pretty Poison, right? They were all here last week. So if you want to see who's going to be there, episode 1 of the June livecast. That's an amazing episode. Go over there and give that a listen. And then I just want to shout out your boy Loco. That's going to be when is Loco Lit Summer?
is July 11th.
July 11th, Lit
At the-
Summer.
at the Cultural
Center in Fall River. That's going to be an amazing event. It's a 2-part event. They have a community event during the day. It's free for everybody. They're going to be doing haircuts, iPads. Everything's free.
It was a lot of fun.
Helio is going to be doing face painting. He's going to show
wonderful.
up. Helio's the artist that just did the mural right down over.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on. He was 2 episodes ago. He was amazing, and he also did all the murals at the new castle, the Somerset Castle. There, he did all the murals there as well, and he's colorblind. What an amazing story, that guy. And so again, so support Lit Summer, support June 19th. David, what do you got, buddy?
Right now, again, as we have the exterior stuff going on right now. It's a little, the weather is not helping us out, but we can definitely get you guys booked if you guys need any kind of exterior painting. We do interior, exterior, we do commercial, we do it all. So if there's anything you need done, big or small, give us a call.
Pinnacle Painting.
10% off.
Start with the right finish.
That's it, man.
Right?
That's
Start
it.
with the
That's
right
it,
finish.
yeah.
Will, is there anything you'd like to present?
Just happy to be here.
Oh man, I love this guy.
That's it. Right?
Yeah, Will, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
In your words, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so
Same.
much.
Yeah.
And everybody, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the show. Just again, I want to reiterate, we hit 600,000 again. 28 days, 600,000 interactions on Facebook, which is amazing. Because Facebook was something new for me. We've been on all the other platforms, but Facebook was something new, and the idea that we have all this momentum there, it just blows my mind. And I'm so grateful for it. So
Yeah,
please
good
go over there. If you're not following the show, go follow the show, subscribe to the show, and share the show.
And
That's
vote
how
for
people know.
Flanagan.
If you don't share the show, nobody knows we're here. So please share the show. Because obviously we're driving the message, right?
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, brother. Will, I
Love you, buddy.
appreciate you.
Same.
Jody Joe, thank you so much.
Thanks, Will.
Everybody, remember that personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion, and never forget that all roads lead here.
Chegou a hora, Estúdio B no ar, Bob Couto mandando pra tu escutar. A voz feminina que veio pra somar. Prepare o seu peito que o grave vai estalar.